welcome back to my channel. I'm Durey or the cook or whatever you like to call me. And once again, I'm back with my good luck geometry book, obviously. And yes, I'm back with another video. Uh, since my last video, I got a little a little bit surgical procedure about for my tooth or jaw. I was about to say or whatever you like to call it because that's just how I start my video. Whatever you like to call me. So I was going to say or whatever you like to call it. Anyways, so today I might make a video about what happened, but maybe soon, maybe never. If I feel comfortable, I'll make a video about it. Maybe I'll talk about it. But it was a little jaw procedure, and I was healing constantly, and I couldn't talk. So there was no more videos for a while. And yeah, even though I did say that I'll be coming back and this is new me, new channel and everything, it is still that. It was just a little bit healing going on and I couldn't talk, so there was no point in making a video. What would have I made it a video about? So yeah, there was that. The healing procedure took a little longer than it should have, and it was a little bit more scarier, let's just say, the healing procedure, because of a few medical conditions I had. And yeah, now I'm fine and back in front of you. And yeah, so today I'll be talking about a book series that I have been promising since the start of this channel. Today I'm going to talk about The Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Even though this is not a storytelling, but if you want me to make videos, a series of videos where I talk in depth about books and movies or whatever in like a storytelling storytelling way, then do let me know and maybe I'll start that. So yeah, but right now this is just a little snippet and a little bit of my points and what I thought about the book series. Also, I'll briefly touch upon the movie series for a little while, so stick till the end of this video and you'll see. So let's start with the type of audience. This book series is enjoyed by many audience and it's in the genre of young adult. So yes, it's a crime thriller as well. And because as someone who enjoys crime thrillers a lot, I enjoyed this book. It was very well written. Also, if you're someone who has never read a crime thriller and you want to start on reading the books, on reading this genre, you can start with this series because, well, the first book you can start with that, and why I'm saying that I'll get to it in a later on in the video. But if you want to just start a new series, a new genre of series that is crime thrill, this is a good place to start. And you don't want to read something that's a little bit of for children. It's young adult. It's not for children. It's young adult. So you will enjoy it. By the way, I'm a little sick. I have flu and a little bit sore throat, so that might affect a little bit on how I talk. But that's it. I'll still talk. Don't worry about it. So the reason why I said if you want to get started on crime thriller, this is the best place to start is because this book contains all of the elements of a crime thriller. The investigation, mystery, everything, a murder, everything, while not being as dark as most crime thrillers usually are. And it won't be like, oh my god, you're suddenly into this new genre. If you've been through fantasy or romance, this could not even fantasy. If you've been only reading light novels or stuff, this is a great place to start. Even though it's not light, but it's a great place to start. Okay, and it's very well written, so it won't be like you'll be missing out on something. The investigation, the way it's written, the writing techniques, the things we all go through while reading the book, it was amazing. So it's a great place to start. The first book, again I'm saying the first book. I'm going to tell you why I'm continuously saying the first book only, because even though the rest is also well written, I'll talk about them later. And why I'm continuously saying if you're starting, the first book is a great place to start. Then you might get along with this other book series and might come back to this for the second book and third book. You can do that. So the book revolves around an 8th grade student, Pippa Fitz-Omobi, who in the first book took it upon herself to solve a 5-year-old case of the missing person Andy Bell and her accused, or should I say assumed murderer, Salsing, who also committed suicide. Pip takes this case as her APQ, and also because she somewhere believes that Salsing was innocent. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail on what happens if Salsing was innocent or not, because I still want to keep this video as spoiler free as possible. But if you want a storytelling type of thing, I can do that as well. I can work on those theories. By the way, even if I did do a storytelling, it would be a lot smoother than this because right now I'm a little sick, but I'll get used to it and I'll write it down as a script. Don't worry, it won't be just on the go thing like these videos are. It would be a script, okay? So like I said in my blog that I'll be linking down below, is Pip is a student, alright? So because of that, there's a lot of sense of relatability with her. Like we see ourselves because she's not a detective, alright? A lot of things are relatable with Pip. She's a normal person like us. She does not have as many resources as we have when we have to investigate something. She just has her internet and all the things that are present on the internet or the people around her. She does not have as many resources as a police or a detective or anyone does who does this professionally. That's why there's a lot of relatability with Pip. Secondly, like I said, you can recommend this book very well to any friend of yours who's just coming into a crime novel scene, and yeah, because it's a complete book in itself. The case starts and it ends because every book contains a new case, even though it's still revolving around Pip. Every book contains a new scene, new case, new case. That's why you can recommend it to anyone, so they don't have to read all three books. You can just read first book and that will be it. Like you don't need to read the second and third book. Now I'm not discouraging you. If you want to read the second and third book, amazingly written. Why I'm saying that, I'll tell you about this, right? These books, like I said, are written amazingly. What did I saw over here? I saw a shadow over here. What? So yeah, if you want, you can recommend it to a friend. I really want to talk in detail about book one, but then I'll be giving too many spoilers because I'll get overly excited and I don't want to do that. So if you want a storytelling, like I said before, you can tell me. I can work on the series 2 where I start storytelling and take recommendations. Anyways, uh, I really like the dynamics of Pip and Ravi, and I think a lot of people do like that. Dynamics of Pip and Ravi. Yeah. Also, one more thing. One thing I need to tell you. One thing that I hate in crime novels and crime movies or horror novels and horror movies. Do not involve pets. As soon as I see a pet, I'm like, why? Why did you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you involve an animal? Why would you involve an animal in these book series? Oh my god, I'm giving a spoiler, aren't I? Nothing happens to the animal. Animal is good. I shouldn't do this. I'm sorry. It's a spoiler. I should have said that. There will be a disclaimer. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do spoilers, even though I'm trying not to. Okay? So every time there's a spoiler, I will put a little disclaimer. I hope I remember to do that. I hope I remember to do that. Okay. Now, also coming on to the second book. Mind you, I might give spoilers in this because even though I try not to, I will have slip of tongue. I know that. So, coming on to the second book, keep in mind it's slightly darker than the first book. Not fully, but slightly darker than the first book. Alright. Also, there are a lot of aspects that are different in this book than the first book that we will start discussing right now. So, the book revolves around a missing Jerry Reynolds, who was a friend of, who is a brother of one of Pip's friend, who asks Pip for help, as the police isn't being that much help. Yes, one of Pip's friend's brothers went missing. I hope I'm not doing like like this tongue twister thing. I was very nervous when I was saying that. Anyways, so the police is not really helping the family, the Reynolds family, in finding Jimmy Reynolds, and that's why Pip's friend asks her for help. Connor Reynolds, yes. Pip's friend is Connor Reynolds. I do have notes, by the way. Even though I don't have a script, I do have notes. So yeah. And by the way, Pip has also started a podcast in this book, which plays a big role in this book. And we will discuss what it plays, what big role it plays. Now, I would like to compare the first book and the second book a little bit, and the details that I talked about, that I talked before. There's slightly bit, there's different aspects in the case regarding to the cases that we are going through, okay? Not just writing side, because the books are written beautifully, amazingly written. But like I said, there are a lot of things that you need to keep in mind when going into a new book, and that's what I am trying to warn you about, because I wasn't warned. Even though I wasn't the first person who read this book, I wasn't warned. I'm gonna warn you. So as I told you, this case involves a missing person, and the case before involved a dead person. Let's just say it was a 5-year-old case, okay? So like I said, this case involves a missing person, potentially a kidnapping, which means this is an ongoing case, alright? And in these type of cases where a person is missing, time plays a very important role. Time plays a very important role because anything could happen to the person. We have to be careful when there's a missing persons case. While the Antibell case, it was 5-year-old case, it wasn't an ongoing case, and the person, the people were already either dead. As we said, Annabelle was announced dead. Even though she was missing, she was announced dead because she was missing for so long. And because it was a 5-year-old case. So there wasn't like that time, that race against time in the first case. While in this case, there was a race against time because, like I said, a person's life was on the line. So that's why there's this sense of urgency in this book that wasn't there in the first book. And even then, I would say written beautifully. Also, the previous case was already investigated by the police, so it was easier for Pip to get to the resources and everything, like whatever the police provided on the internet, it was easier for Pip to find. While in this case, the police wasn't working at all in Pip's favor, and that was the main reason why Connor, Pip's friend, asked Pip for help, because the police wasn't doing anything. So half of the investigation in the previous case was already done. That's why it was a lot easier for Pip to just grab that pieces of investigations and along with her own investigation. It was easier for Pip to investigate the last case. In my opinion, you can have your own opinion. And also, it was amazingly done. The case was amazingly handled. In the writing point of view, I'm saying how it was written, the case was amazingly handled. Holly Jackson, amazing writer. I'm gonna say this. But I have some things I want to talk about her other books that might survive. So one thing that changes big time in this book than this last book was, remember when I said there was a sense of relatability with Pip because she was just like us, a normal girl. People didn't know her. Also, I added this in my blog that in the first book, investigation is a lot easier for Pip because people didn't know her. But at the same time, it was a lot difficult for Pip because why would anyone talk to her? She's not police, she's not a detective. But at the same time, being that, how should I say this word? Being that unseen detective, it was very easier for Pip because she was just a student. So people didn't really find her as a threat. Even though some people did because she was still investigating something, some people did find her as a threat. Not many people did, and people were really easy to talk to her because it was just an EPQ for everyone else. And in this case, Pip is not a normal student anymore. People know who she is because solved a 5-year-old murder case already. People know what Pip is capable of. So things are a little different this time. Alright? Pip is not that normal student anymore. And yeah, that plays a big role in this book because Pip also has a podcast. Now let's get to the podcast and why I said that this podcast plays a big role. Here's another spoiler, by the way. Another spoiler. Skip if you don't want a spoiler. Pip decides that she wants to share the details of her investigation on her podcast. And I think my personal opinion, this is my personal opinion, as someone who's read so many crime novels and watched so many crime movies, that I believe, by the way, on my other channel there's also a crime story going on. It's the Cook Imagines, even though it's various related fact fictions. I love that story. It's called Monster Hunters. Go watch that. A little self-advertisement. Anyways, why do I think it was a little bit dumb of Pip to make that video, to share that on a podcast? Is because it could reach the potential kidnappers. Like I said, potential kidnapping, it could reach the potential kidnappers. You are doing an investigation and you are continuously sharing it on your podcast, what you're doing, what you're not doing. Why do you think that police like to hide a few stuff while they're investigating something? I get that her point of view was that it would reach more people, it would make more chances of finding Jamie. As more people will get to know about the case and more people will talk about it, and there will be more people trying to find him. Like usually we see nowadays on the internet, and the internet mysteries, how they're solved and how the internet mysteries are solved nowadays. We see that happening. But you are someone who's already investigating something, and you are already, like I said, known like police. You're not just someone who shares something on the internet and the internet people are now telling you what's going on. Anyways, so that's why I thought that that was not a smart decision to share that on a podcast, but she does, and the podcast is listened by a lot of people because, like I said, Pip is famous now for solving a closed case. So yeah, that is a big difference in the first book and the second book. Okay, let's get to the third book. Now, I haven't written any points about this, but I think I can work on memory. The third book, the infamous As Good as Dead. Nobody warned me about this. And this is the reason why I'm asking you to stick to the first book. Now, if you want to get to the second book, you can. It's not that deep either, like the third book, The Darkest. Like I said, if you are someone who has been reading crime, so why is this stuck to my head? I cannot remove it. Anyways, it's just stuck. Anyways, should it be here? Okay. Okay, let's start again. The third book. The third book is very dark. If you have been reading crime novels before, this is not going to be that dark for you because you have been doing it, but read it as a crime novel, not with the mindset of the first book. Don't read it that it's going to be the same with the same mindset as you started. Oh my god, how should I say this? Don't read it with the same mindset of the first book, alright? Read it with the mindset of you're reading a crime novel, that's it. Because it is quite dark. Like I said, amazingly written. If you can do that, you can separate this book with the first book, because like I said, the tone is very different. I think that way, okay? This is what my opinion is. But if you can separate that, well and good, you can read that. You should read that. But if you can't, I suggest give it some time before start reading that. Do read it because, like I said, amazing book, amazingly written, amazing storyline, amazing plot. So you should start reading that. But give it some time. Don't just like first book's finished, let's get to the second, let's get to the third. Don't do that. That would take a toll on your mental health. Because when you're reading, and if you're you're like me and you really get involved in the storyline and the book plot and everything with the characters, give it some time before jumping to this next book. Alright? Alright. Now that we've gotten it out of the system, this book is about a serial killer. Yes. Yes, if you are a serial killer obsessed, this is good for you as well. Anyways, this book is about a serial killer named the Duct Tape Killer. And Pip is held. Oh, wait. Now, in this book, Pip is being threatened by someone, and she believes it is the Duct Tape Killer. At the same time, she is approached by the mother of the assumed Duct Tape Killer. I'm not going to tell you too much. And she's telling her that she used to listen to her podcast, and she believes that her son is innocent and is not the actual Duct Tape Killer. Maybe he is, maybe he is not. This is all what the third book is about. But like I said, a lot more. Okay, so now I have to record it like a vlog because there's been some issues with my phone and with the stand. So I have to record it with a vlog, like a vlog. Anyways, let's start. I was talking about the third book, and I was just saying that it's quite darker than the previous books. It was already done, halfway done. Yes, the mother. So the mother believed that her son was innocent, and that's why she started to. She contacted Pip to talk about how her son, she believes, is innocent and is being framed for being the duct tape killer. So it was like Pip started investigating what is going on and if he's innocent or not. Well, not really if he's innocent or not, but the investigation revolves around it, and there's a lot of surprises why it's not really like that investigation that's been done in the previous books. It's not like that, all right? It's not really that investigation. There is quite a bit investigation, but it's like a face-off with the killer himself. So quite fun, amazingly done book, and there are a lot of things that happen. So I would just say, do read this book, but not with the mindset of the first book, all right? Anyways, like I promised, oh my god, my hand's getting tired. Like I promised, I will be talking about the movie series a little bit. I watched till the third episode. I loved Emma Myers and all the actors, but dude, okay, there are not many movie series that I watch like based on books. Like either I read the books or I watch the movie series. So I don't know if it happens with every one of them, but do tell me, are really every one of them that different? It's like I'm watching two different reenactments of the same murder case or something like that. Like, why is this so different? I don't know, there were a lot of plots that were so different. For example, if I remember correctly, Nat the Silva was not what was her name? Andy's friend. She was not Andy's friend, and here in the movie series, it showed that she's Andy's friend. Also, in the book, Pip's very, fierce, I will say. While in the movie, Pip's so scared to take a decision or take an action. I don't know what they did in the movie, especially Pip and Ravi's first meeting. I really liked that one. I don't like the blueberry meeting in this one. If you liked it, good for you. But I didn't like the movie series at all. I stopped watching them at the third episode. I don't know what happened. I'm being really negative, but I couldn't watch it, even though these are my favorite series, and I was very excited for the movie series as well. And yeah, it was very different from how the books were made. I believe that. So please do tell me if it's the same for everyone, and do let me know what you think about the movie series. So I will have to go because my hand's getting tired now. My memory is full. And even though I did say that I'll talk briefly. No, I'll touch briefly. What did I say? I'll lightly touch on it. I did say that I'll lightly touch on it. And yeah. I'm gonna go now. And it was good seeing you all again. I would be making a video about. Maybe I will be making a video about why I was absent and what was the medical procedure that happened with my teeth or jaw. It was in the same way. And yeah, I've gotta go now. See you next time. I did make this video that I promised, and yeah, it was a little bit difficult because I was sick, but I was like, let's get back on track. And yeah, so goodbye from me. And I'm getting so tired, so I'm sorry. Like I said, there were no points for me to end this video. Okay, so I'll be leaving, and I'm the Ray or the cook, whatever you like to call me. And I hope I improve at giving reviews, but you'll see me improve with this channel. And yeah, see you the other time. Goodbye. Love you. I removed the nails because they were hurting my fingers. Bye. And I know it wasn't as good as I expected it to be, but I hope I improve, like I said.